Hello and welcome. It is just past 10:30 on a Sunday night. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm quite excited about this really. It is episode one of our Untold Chronicles Court of Five Thunders. So, a few sort of hellos first. Hello to everybody in chat. Thank you very, very much for joining us, and hello and thank you very much to our players as well. I'm going to quickly see whether that's good to know that I am coming loud and clear. Hopefully you can see that, and hopefully you can see Fantasy Grounds as well. Yeah, perfect. So as well as that, it is our usual thing that most of our viewers now are very familiar with. A big thank you to Hero Forge. Hero Forge have been very generous in allowing us to use images from their website. Many of the character images are in fact designed using Hero Forge, a wonderful way to create your own custom miniatures, get them 3D printed. Please note that anything mentioned on the stream may not represent the view or beliefs of Hero Forge or Sky Castle Studios LLC product. You can find them at their website at www.heroforge.com. And as I say, it's great fun to have a play around on the website, download some files, purchase some miniatures direct. It's super cool. Check them out. As I said, this is chapter one of Court of the Five Thunders. We're a little bit behind with the Untold Chronicles here, but we will soon be catching up. We only have an hour and a half, so without further ado, we're going to do some introductions. That is what we shall do. So just player introductions at the moment, and then we will kick the campaign off in style. So Kiyoshi, if you want to quickly introduce yourself, that is you.
Hello.
Hello. And
Hello. How's everybody doing?
I am good, thank you. Who are you?
So I'm in the Discord as Konami Code. Been in a couple of Andy's games.
Yep.
I'm the guy that renames all the spells and then forgets what they're called.
Yep. You make it an entertaining nightmare for me when what exactly are you doing now? But welcome aboard, Konami. It is very, very cool to have you, and I'm genuinely looking forward to seeing how you reskin some of these things here. And then we move to Tatsu.
Hi, I'm playing Tatsu. My name is Andrew. I am Primate on the Discord and in the Twitch chat.
And in a couple of other Untold Chronicles as well.
I am indeed, yes.
And perfect. And then our third player, I need to. I'm so bad with pronunciations of no. So Kagiyaki.
Kagiyaki, yeah.
Kagiyaki. That's not too bad. If you want to introduce yourself.
My name is Sarah, and I'm on Discord as Yig, and you may have also heard me on Ionia streaming.
Excellent stuff. And I will get used to all of these names. And last but not least, Minute to Midnight, if you want to do a quick introduction for yourself.
Hi. My character's nickname is specifically Mini, because not everyone might be able to pronounce the full name every time. In Discord, I'm known as Insomniac without lies, but people just call me Insomniac or Somni these days. Because even that, my name is also very long. Yeah, it's me. I like long words.
Excellent.
I noticed that I like cats a lot, and that's why I'm probably the only odd one out here. So just be ready for some weird shenanigans going on with her.
Excellent. I do indeed look forward to some weird shenanigans. Shenanigans being one of my more favourite of words. Okay, I'm just adjusting the volumes thanks to the advice in chat. Hopefully that will be better. So without further ado, as I like to do with session ones, is introduce the characters as if it is the opening scene of a movie. The camera pans across the Court of Five Thunders, an incredibly vast land of different terrains. The plains of the Horse Lords, the rugged coast of the Kraken, the mountains of the Phoenix, and of course the Celestial Court itself. As it zooms in, though, it finds itself heading towards the south of the courts, the Empire, and you see this majestic, massive fortification. You can view it from miles away. The Great Wall that divides this empire, cutting off the treacherous and poisonous swamps to the south. Originally the Sixth Court, but abandoned, discarded after a loathsome and terrible conflict. Below, south of the Great Wall, lurking within the swamps, is the majority of the humans of the Empire. These are known as worshippers of abyssal forces and necromancers of dark deeds, and the wall separates them from civilization. The camera pans over the wall and zooms down, and it finds our protagonists walking along a muddy, swampy road north of the wall at the moment. Destination, a critical village known as Pure Pool, a place where the well is dug deep, and it is one of the few places in this small area that fresh, good, untainted water can be drawn from. Unfortunately, the Imperial Guard at one of the forts of the Great Wall hasn't heard anything from Pure Pool over the last number of days, and having encountered our protagonists, has gave them some of the Emperor's coins to head out and to investigate why nothing has been heard. It pans down on our heroes yet to be, and it begins to focus initially on Kiyoshi. What does the camera see?
Well, if it's panning from the top, you'll just see a white circle.
You are the director in this case. The camera pans down indeed from the top, but where does it sweep to? Describe.
So as it sweeps and pans around, he is face is quite hidden, but if it zooms in close, you can see that there are a high elf lineage of average height and slim build. Their face is weathered and a bit gaunt, as if they've been traveling for long periods, and the heavy eyelids, rings around the brown eyes, giving almost permanent tired look, even though he doesn't sleep because he's an elf. But he has black shoulder length hair, again quite unkept, that's partially tied up with a ponytail with a leather strip. His garb is the classical kimono hakama swordsman from the east, with blue highlights, and he has two sheathed blades on his left side and a thick wrapped scroll on the right side. And then he has some very strange accoutrement of fibrous paper-like material that make up the hat, the traveling cape, and the scarf that doesn't look particularly comfortable.
Very nice. And just as a question, how are you finding this muddy, swampy road? At the moment, it is a road heading towards Pure Pool, but either side of it, there are reeds and marsh waters. How are you enjoying your travel?
There's work to be done.
Indeed. So you put your mind to it and trudge on. With
Mm-hmm.
that, the camera doesn't need to travel particularly far as it zooms out and then finds the second Tatsu. What does the camera see with you?
Probably just behind or bringing up the rear of the train is an absolute beast of a human, maybe 6'8" tall, that kind of thing. Very, very large. He's wearing kind of samurai armor, so plated with chain underneath, with a large, extremely vicious looking club strapped to his back. He is he's young, but he's got an extremely weathered face, and his head is shaved bald, so somewhat of a vicious stare on him.
Okay.
He's moving through the mud, like he's not giving it any care. It's not slowing him down that much, and he's just, or rather, it is slowing him down, but he's not showing any sign of tiring through it and just pushing through this mire.
And a question for you. You mentioned that you are a human.
I am indeed, yes.
And you are north of the wall. Has this caused you any issues recently?
Yes, as a human north of the wall, I experienced multiple issues with people giving me a lot of back talk and aggro, and I generally tend to respond to that in what is the most appropriate way, which is by teaching them that they probably shouldn't do that via great violence. I have been arrested multiple times, able to get out of it. Lots of bar fights and things. So, yeah.
Okay, that sounds it up. So there is a degree of distrust and hatred towards your character with the previous wars with those south of the wall. Excellent. And then the camera pans out, and again, it hasn't got far to go as you're all traveling together, and it focuses now on Kagiyaki.
So Kagayaki is probably wearing a longish but not floor-length robe, similar sort of color to the picture, in a sort of yellow golden color, like the sun. They have got a rather wide-brimmed hat, which is veiled, so their face and head is not visible because of the sort of thickness of the veil that surrounds the entire brim of their hat. In one hand, they probably absent-mindedly are playing with a brush pen, which they pass between their fingers, not doing anything in particular, just feeling some comfort from having it in their hand. And they probably have some ink stains on their fingers. They look probably like they're perpetually there. It's not that it's because specifically on this day they've been playing with the brush pen, but just generally it's a feature of their life.
Interesting. Very cool. And I've just noticed that your maximum hit points are at 0 on your character sheet. You have no wounds, but you have no health. Would you like to? Shall we correct that before we start?
I think that's probably a good way to start, or else combats are really exciting.
I believe Warlock is a D8 plus your Constitution, so it should be 10 hit points. I think you might well have put 10 in, but it didn't register the 1 because there was 0 there. But that gives you a fighting start, I think. Excellent. Once again, the camera pans out to perhaps the most unusual one. I mean, a human this side of the wall is unusual, but the camera pans down to you, Minute or Minnie. What do you look like?
So the camera probably hovers a bit, but then it will just pan down to facing the back of Minnie for a bit. And the first thing that viewers going to see is like this tail just like flicking lazily back and forth, black, long, somewhat like, and then it's going to move. It's going to move to the side, slowly panning down until it's facing a minute to midnight. You see, she's actually just riding slightly behind Tatsu, not quite. I mean, not that far behind, but just slightly.
Yeah.
Like as if Tatsu was basically her bodyguard or something like that.
Excellent
And
stuff.
also, she's wearing a definitely fancy clothes, but it's so very odd in a way that it's definitely not like her companions in terms of style and coloring. Hers is very dark colored, but with like a certain hint of splashes of color that suggest a taste for femininity stuff.
Yeah.
She has an old rapier by her side, just clanging, but right now she's just kind of preoccupied with just like playing. She's like fingering her daggers basically, but she's also keeping an eye out for threats. Like she's always alert. Her ears, cat ears, just keep flicking slightly nervously. And right now she's basically displeased, perhaps even grumpy, because the road, everything, it's mud. It's
Yeah.
also muddy. It's nothing but mud, and that's the one thing she doesn't like. She
Yeah.
hates mud,
It's
and now she's basically in her personal hell.
Well, there we go. I'm pleased as a GM that I've started it off great for you. Okay, so you trudge through this hell, as you call it, Minnie. Time passes, and it's from the fort within the wall that you have set out from. You are travelling east, and it is no more than perhaps a day and a half's journey. You kind of camp up as best as you can overnight. It's incredibly uncomfortable considering you're in the marsh. You find a rise that is out of the water to camp up in, but it's damp, it's miserable. And then you carry on with your journey, and it's round about middle of the day that Pure Pool becomes visible through the small mist that rises within the thing, within the marsh. It is apparent immediately that everything is not right. The village looks heavily damaged, buildings are burnt down, and it looks indeed abandoned. Let me share this image with you. Hopefully everybody can see that map now.
Yep.
DM, I think I should be next to Tatsu.
Well,
Yeah.
you can move wherever you want, however you want.
Thanks. This is the best.
You're not in initiative at the moment, but it doesn't even take a roll to see there is something definitely wrong there. Buildings burnt down, wrecked doors swinging open in the breeze, and directly ahead of you, you can see, well, what you kind of came to check up on, Pure Pool, the well that all of the surrounding hamlets and small mud farms come and draw their good water from.
I'm going to observe the surroundings, see if I can spot any possible enemies, because I don't like this place.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Okay.
use my keen cat's eyes to see if I can spot any threats.
That's absolutely fine. I will remind you all, because we are in Untold Chronicles and we'll be using the new skill rules where you can critically fail. But if you want to make a roll, you make a roll. You look around through the mist, and it's pretty much as I described. You see burnt out buildings. With a 10, you sniff the air, and you think this has happened maybe a day or so ago. There's no signs of the building still being alight. The fires are now extinguished, and there's no real smell of smoke on the air.
Looks like some raiders from the other side of the wall have got here.
Kiyoshi will raise a hand and flick, and the cape that's on his back will split into multiple separate sections of paper and fly underneath his robing and wrap around his body underneath his clothes. It's almost creating like an Under Armour type situation. And I'll cast Mage Armour.
Mage Armour. And it sounds very much you're not doing, well, I wouldn't say a traditional way, but it is very interesting as you bend. And is it parchment that is actually bending and taking on magical form, or is it cloth? What exactly?
It is like a fibrous paper-like material.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess it's like a parchment type thing. It's like the personification of his magical ability.
Excellent. I mean, that's good. And does it appear to be sort of flat, or does it form almost like an origami-esque kind of suit of armor?
It goes underneath, so it looks like bandage is wrapped around underneath his armor.
Oh, excellent stuff. I like that.
So that way it doesn't really change his outward appearance.
Yeah. So I kind of, and feel free, it's your character. I don't overly want to impress, but I'm trying to get the imagery here. I kind of get the impression that sort of this kind of almost scroll-like material sort of snakes around your body as you summon it in a protective way. That's good imagery.
Then the cape is gone because it broke down into these separate pieces and then like stuck itself.
Yeah, excellent stuff. You cast that, nothing untoward happens. You're able to do that, and you've applied the effect in Fantasy Grounds as well. You are now armored in life. Okay, what would you like to do? Again,
shall we head in there then? Shall we see if there's any survivors? Do we maybe pick over the wreckage a little bit before anyone else gets a chance?
We should go toward one of the houses, inspect that first. Don't go straight for the well. It seems that there's I cannot see for sure, so we need to inspect. We need to be careful about this. I think they might be hiding.
Well, let's start over here, says Kagiyaki as they move towards the nearest building.
Okay.
Good idea.
This building that you head towards isn't fully burnt out, but you see the door is just doing that horrible dunk. It's obviously been broken open and it's just swinging backwards and forwards in the small breeze. The light of the day sort of shines through. It's about midday now, so it's about as light as it's going to be got. It's this was what would have been considered to be kind of a small family home, and it looks, as you kind of peer through the door, like it has been ransacked. There are drinking bowls and wooden cups scattered around the living area, upturned tables. It looks like a struggle has gone on in here.
I think that Kagayaki will still go and have a look just to make sure that there isn't somebody hidden.
Yeah. So you're gonna go into the building.
Yes.
Okay, so we can just move you there. You won't see technically the interior, but and how do you want to investigate this? Are you just going to perceive from the door to see if are you going to actually investigate, or perhaps are you going to look for tracks with survival? Or if you can think of something creative using one of your other skills, feel free to pitch that to me.
Well, Kagayaki's more interested in if there's anyone left than worrying about whether or not the stuff that's in there tells us something about who was here.
Mm-hmm.
So she would probably sort of call out and try and be reassuring and say, you don't need to be afraid, you're safe now, you can come out.
Beautiful.
In the sense of hoping that if there is someone there, they will kind of believe what she's saying and kind of show themselves.
Yeah. So in my mind, I get the impression you're doing a Ripley with Newt from Aliens. Probably a totally inappropriate kind of sci-fi reference there, but it's what I get. So, being reassuring, I'm assuming you want to do persuasion.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, you can say no, I want to do something else, but
Yeah, no, persuasion's fine.
it just sounds like you're trying to be reassuring.
Yep.
So, give us a roll. Oh, very good. You shout out. You shout out. Are you just being audible in this property, or are you kind of sort of shouting out across the village, sort of thing? Really, what is?
Mostly I'm starting with this house because I think if I'm super loud, that may not be, maybe to adjacent houses, but not kind of like trying to throw my voice too far, because I want them to kind of feel like I'm talking directly to them, which they won't get if I'm kind of shouting at the top of my lungs saying it's all right, it's fine.
Okay.
So the personal touch.
Yeah, it's very good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bank that score, that 22, and I'm going to assume that as you're moving around, it's a brilliant score that you are doing that. Unfortunately, in this property, though, there isn't anything that kind of answers you, and you don't hear any movement or anything else. But I'm assuming now that you're doing the same thing as you move around the village.
Yep.
Excellent. So whilst that is going on, what is the other three of you doing?
Minute to midnight, she's going to move next to Tatsu and ask him to follow her to this building she's riding to now.
Mm-hmm.
And
Tatsu will grunt and do so.
Okay.
She's going to tell Tatsu to keep an eye for any possible threats, while she's going to try to ascertain as to what actually had happened to here from this building.
If it's okay, actually, I think I'll move to here also.
Yeah.
And just generally try and keep an eye on what everyone's doing from this kind of central position.
Okay, that is absolutely fine. So if Tatsu, you just give me a general perception roll, sort of straightforward, and then we'll move on to your investigation, Minnie. As Tatsu is kind of in Overwatch. And boy, is it an Overwatch. Yeah, you kind of taken that. As I say, the lighting at the moment is about as best as it would be. And you're kind of standing there in readiness, kind of watching. Then we focus in upon you, Minnie. You wanted to, again, I'm assuming investigation, but if there's something else that you wanted to do, a different skill instead, you're more than welcome to explain what you're using. If not, we'll just go for investigation.
Investigation will do just fine. This is just like investigating any crime scene or something like that.
Okay. So, yeah, that is good. Okay. It's kind of strange as you kind of look forward and you're kind of looking in. You notice that within this property here, the damaged property, it seems that there's a couple of floorboards missing from the center of the room. That's about as much as you can make out.
Minnie will think to herself that she suspects that the attackers might have come from underground, which means that we have to be careful for our footing. She's going to relay that information to Tatsu and to the others, like Kyoshi.
Yep. Okay.
That watch for the grounds, like watch where we're stepping. They could, because I see that apparently they might have emerged from the floors in that house.
Okay. So you see that there's a couple of floorboards sort of missing. Whilst that's going on, Kyoshi, are you doing anything in particular?
Mainly keeping an eye out. How are these anything, Andy? These like figures next to the trees that are above us?
They are. This is or was a kind of shrine They are traditional places where travelers on the road would leave offerings to the five thunders. They have been despoiled. They have been vandalized, they have been broken, and the offerings that were around them have been kicked and scattered. Desecration, fundamentally.
Okay. I will walk up to where Tatsu is.
Mm-hmm.
I will see you do so.
You definitely see it.
Same.
Basically, just a casual walk up.
Minnie will
Yes.
look at Yoshi as he does so. Out of curiosity, it seems that he's noticed something.
Well, we'll walk up to Tatsu and then ask him, you suppose this is a regular raiding kind of behavior? Or does this smell off?
If I may interrupt there, are you insinuating that because Tatsu's a human, he knows about raiding from the southern wall?
Possibly.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can read that however you want, Tatsu.
Can Minnie do an insight check on Kyoshi as he asked that?
There's no need for an insight check.
It's a raid. A raid's a raid. There's lots of different types. I don't know what you expect these things to look like. Most of the people are dead. A lot of their stuff seems to have been taken. Those are the two big things. If it fits those two criteria, then probably a raid. Found anything?
Broken floorboards, which possibly indicates either they could have came from underground as well. Well, but then again, I don't know. Just the floorboards.
Andy,
Yeah.
Are there actually bodies of people around, or is it empty?
It's empty, without a doubt. Are you going to go further into the building and have more of a look? At the moment, you've kind of stepped in and you've kind of encouraged people to sort of come to you. You can sort of have a stronger look around if you want, but you can't see anybody at the moment. Most definitely looks like some kind of struggle has taken place, so there were people in here, but there's no obvious signs of bodies.
I'll move in enough that I can have looked in every room, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, these are sort of peasant houses, and it's kind of split into two, and there's kind of almost like a small bamboo cross section and then cloth hanging down. It's relatively easy to rapidly see within this chamber. And as you kind of move in and sort of have a look around, the signs of the skirmish become more apparent, and there is spots of blood, not enough showing that fatalities have occurred here, and there is smears along the floor as well, seeming to indicate that people were probably subdued and dragged away.
Okay.
I would like to do a thing, Andy, if that's all right.
Absolutely.
I would like to step away from Minute and Kagiyaki, things to about there.
Yeah.
And then just yell into the rest of the town very loudly.
Okay.
In the name of the Emperor, raiders, show yourselves now and your deaths will be swift.
Minute to Midnight will just give Tatsu a look.
Yeah. You can not only give Tatsu a look, you can all roll initiatives.
Okay.
There we go. And oh,
Yeah, give me initiatives.
we're doing this.
Yep.
It might be
Do
nothing.
I need to click my character and then roll initiative, or if I click on initiative, it will automatically assign to itself?
You just double click on the initiative button in the center of your character sheet.
Mhm.
There you go, and you've got an amazing one there.
I'm a cat. I have to be very fast.
Okay, it becomes apparent almost immediately, having been given the call, that individuals begin to emerge further down. Whether they are, well, we'll see fundamentally. As these are bandits, but you will recognize them as, I'm not sure why the
I will recognise them.
well, you
It's Dave from Not Out of the Wall.
yeah,
Oh, you mean I was right?
you will be familiar. They are clad in scraps of leather. They have black face coverings, and these are what are commonly known as Thorns of the Lotus. They tend to work for not Locus, Lotus. They tend to work for necromancers and the like, doing nefarious deeds south of the wall, but it is not unknown of them to travel north. This is the first time that you've seen them be as brave as this, though. Something big is going down. There we go. I feel better for correcting those. So at the top of initiative on a 23, that is amazing. We have Kiyoshi. If you can't see them, I'm just going to pull them out as they step out onto the street, because that's fundamentally what they do. And they look at you and they say, "You working for the Emperor." They don't recognize you, but the fact that you are human and you have called out in the name of the Emperor seems to amuse them.
Thank you for the fight.
They draw their blades. And we move to Kiyoshi.
Yep. Well, this isn't very civilized, is it? Blank minds are but like blank pieces of paper. Be torn. And I'll target this Thorns of the Lotus number 2 over here.
Yeah. As with all
I
good,
will attempt to.
yeah. Say, as with all good movies, you're probably not overly scared by these, as they don't have names at the moment. Named villains are the ones that you should be really scared of. Which one do you want to? Can you see? There you go. You've done it.
Okay,
Number 2.
I used target mode because my shortcut keys weren't working for some reason.
Yeah, no, you've got him though. Thorns of the Lotus 2.
I will use Origami Hidden Art Tear Ego, which is a rewording of. Let me remember, because I've actually forgotten. It's been a while. Okay, it's Mind Sliver.
Mind Sliver.
Yeah.
Mind Sliver.
Yeah, Mind Sliver. Yeah.
Welcome to the world of Kiyoshi. He doesn't even know what he's doing. Okay, that sounds awesome though. So he fails as you hit him with that, tearing his mind and doing quite a lot of damage. He sort of steps back and shudders, clasping his head, blood pouring from his nose. He looks at you and says, "You will pay for that." And then we move to...
I will step back and draw a... Well, he will go to draw his bigger of his 2 swords, but then hesitate because he knows that he can't use that one. So then we'll pull out the shorter one.
Okay. And yeah, if you want to move back, you can
And
certainly
move
move back.
into like a defensive swordsman's sort of stance.
Perfect. Then we move to Minnie. What would you like to do?
Minnie is going to take out her short bow and
Mhm.
aim for the same Thorn of Lotus that had been attacked by Kiyoshi before.
Okay, that is number 2. I'll do that for you. So he's targeted now. So yeah, if you just go to your actions page on your character sheet, that's it.
Oh yeah,
Lovely.
sorry, I forgot it's a double click, not a
Oh,
single
it's
click.
okay. That is beautiful. And I hate to say this, but we are using the new rules. And when I check their armor class is only 12. So a 24 is beyond 10 more than their armor class. So that counts as a critical hit. So you will do twice as much damage. I'm going to see if I can do this here for you. Okay, just roll your dice.
The normal one, right?
Yeah, just roll
There's
your
normal
damage
click.
dice. Yeah.
But this only 1d6 that I just gave.
Yeah, don't worry. So you do that. Roll another d6 now.
A separate d6.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there's a way that you can force it. So you, instead of doing the 5 points damage, you actually do the full 11 points of damage to him, and you kill him. 1 shot, 1 kill. Very nice.
Can Minnie see if that house next to her? Can she enter that house? Perhaps a window she can like roll into.
Well, the thing north of you that you look through, it's got broken and burnt down walls, so you can easily move into there.
Into the house, right?
Yeah.
All right, she's going to take cover inside the house.
Okay, so you're talking about this one here? That's it.
The house next to her.
Okay. So as you move into there, Thorns of the Lotus 1 can see you there. So you still can be seen by Thorns of the Lotus 1 there. Are you happy with that?
Wait a second. I'm going to try something else. Can I move to the house at the bottom? But I'm going to use my felon speed, the one that lets me move twice my turn, but as long as I didn't move the next turn.
So I mean, yes.
Felon agility.
You have a move action. Where do you want to move to? So
she's going to surprise Kagayaki by rushing into the house and trying to take cover inside this.
Okay, that's fine.
Can she enter this house and hide there?
Yeah, you are now hidden because you are, well, you're not hidden, but no one can see you. You've got total cover as you run into there. Very nice. And then we move to Tatsu.
I'm going to move to here, just kind of bring out the Tetsubo, this massive club, and just do it here and attempt to crush this guy against the side of the building.
Yeah, okay.
This would be a double attack roll. Unfortunately, no.
So close, a natural 20 as well. The good news
Enthusiastic.
is, good news is it's neither a 1 or 10 less than their armor class. So it's not critical, but as you swing it cinematically, he probably ducks out of the way just in time, and it crashes into the building, kind of shattering wood everywhere. And then we move to Thorns of the Lotus 1. He kind of smiles, drawing his wicked sort of, it's kind of like a shortish blade. You're familiar with these, absolutely. And he has little choice but to target you, who has kind of charged up there. And he hits you. Oops. That is wrong. I'm going to give you 6 hit points back there. You'll be pleased to know.
But yeah,
I was trying to do the crit on Minnie's go, so it was set up still. Fortunately, they've only got 1 attack, so that is it. As he cuts into you, catching you underneath your armor, doing 6 points of damage, and then we move to Kagiyaki. You'll go.
Having heard a lot of commotion and then Minnie just turning up in the house, she would probably start with a "What's going on?"
And Minnie just points toward where she came from.
You would have heard Tatsu issue the command and the conversation that went outside. So you got
Yeah.
a vague thing that he issued a challenge to these Thorns of the Lotus, and they have appeared from their hiding places.
Okay. Well, Kagayaki will go out, but currently can't see where anyone is. So
it's okay.
that's step one.
So it's only 5 feet to there, and then hopefully
Okay.
you've got a view. And again, culturally, within the Court of Five Thunders, when someone issues you a challenge, even if you are sort of a little bit sneaky, most people will reply to it, which is why they stepped forth. This is a common practice. But that is only 5 foot of movement. You've got the whole rest of your turn ahead of you.
Okay, I'm going to move up probably to where Kyoshi is, or at least as far as I can go. So that'd be 10.
Have you taped Drunken Monk? Woo!
Only if I went
Okay.
round and round in a circle. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna. Assuming this looks like a fight that's going on
Oh,
over
it's
there.
definitely a fight. It's definitely a fight.
Okay. In our practice, if those two are engaged in a fight, is it unacceptable for me to intervene in that fight?
Oh no, this
Okay.
is a combat. There are sort of duels and the stuff, but this isn't a duel of honor. You're absolutely
This is
fine.
not a place of honor.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, in which case, Kagayaki will grip her brush pen fairly tightly, but holding it in the way that you would write, and make gestures in the air as though she's writing symbols, and from that symbol will generate a bolt of energy. As
I really like the idea of kind of the script and the energy shooting out in the
So
symbols.
am I doing cast or attack, Andy? Which one?
What are you
I'm
doing?
actually doing an Eldritch Blast.
I kind of figured that was his. So you can fundamentally. I'd go for the attack button. Are you happy with all of your modifiers? Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, +5 is great. That is correct. And yeah, you do hit as you. Not quite a crit, but it's definitely a hit. And severe damage, heavily damaging him with that blast of force. Is that your go?
Let me just double check something a minute. Because I have. Is Tatsu within 60 feet of me?
Easily.
Okay, I would like to use a bonus action to use my healing light to heal him because he has been injured. Yes.
Yeah, you can definitely do this, and this is interesting because it's not a traditional sort of spell. So firstly, do it, and then we'll talk about what happens and cinematics with it.
Okay, it's not actually set up in Fantasy Grounds as an action I can do. So can I just roll a d6?
I will let you do that, and then I will hear Tatsu. Oh, nice! A full 5 points of healing, putting him only onto 1 wound. So do you want to describe how this healing light works?
So the way that I kind of think of it is that it's a radiance that comes from Kagayaki, so she would probably have an open arm gesture to kind of like let the light pour out from her to Tatsu.
Perfect. And you see the wounds, the blood that was dripping out of his armor seal up. As you know, your healing light has done its job. Are you finished for this round?
I am, yes.
Okay, and as it was stated, it isn't a fight of honor. Thorn of the Lotus, number 3, is going to move 5, 10, 15, 20. and attack. Now, there are no flanking in this game, you'll be pleased to know, as he just swings with his and misses, the armor taking it. And they seem to be just beating down upon this, who they consider to be perhaps a traitor from south of the wall, now taking instruction and coin from the Emperor himself.
If
And
I
that-
may add,
Yeah.
I mean, he was the one who issued the challenge, so he is the one that they're going to be very angry at. He's the one who shouted at them in the first place, so it's obvious they're going to target him first.
Yeah.
They can consider me a traitor if they want. They're the ones that are going to die.
Yeah.
It's better to be a traitor and alive than whatever they are and dead.
And with that, we move to round 2 and Kiyoshi.
Mm-hmm. I will just step away from Kagiyaki to just make some space.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will target this individual over here.
Let us
we will
zoom in
have-
for chat. I'm going to zoom in for chat. Go. You can carry on.
And then again, he will basically sort of. Normally, his eyes are sort of like in a kind of like a half shut kind of thing, but then they'll flare open and again try to tear this person's brain.
Wow. I think you're quite a meanie. So he succeeds. No modifier in his intelligence, but he shakes it off with the 14, not even sensing it. Anything else you would like to do?
In that case, I might move up a little bit more, so that they might split.
Okay, feeling brave. Sounds good. Okay, so you move a little bit forward, and then we move to Minute. Minnie, what would you like to do? You are in the
Minute?
house.
From here she can still see 2 of the others, right?
Yep, you can peer out of a window.
Yes, she's going to take her along. She's going to shoot again because she's like a cat. She likes, and she's a rogue, so she prefers to stay out of direct combat and just do her dirty work from here.
Yeah,
So-
she's like a cat. She's always entering and leaving buildings.
Yeah.
Totally constant.
Yeah.
Would you like to target number 3 or number 4 or number 1?
Can I target number 1?
Yeah, you can do that.
No disadvantage or anything, right?
There's no advantage, but you will get a sneak attack due to the fact you've got an ally within 5 feet of it.
Ooh.
Should you hit, give me an attack roll.
Actually, rather not that. I will try to target number 3 first.
Okay, choosing a different target.
Hmm.
Okay, so you're targeting number 3. Oh, it's actually Fantasy Grounds not doing. You're targeting number 3. Give me an attack roll.
In her element, she's going to aim squarely at the one right next to Tatsu, harassing him. And she's going to, like a sniper, she's going to shoot from the shadows.
I'm not sure I like these new rules, because a 23 is 10 above their armor class, which means that is a critical hit as well.
Second
Shooting with a rapier, though.
Oh, I'm sorry, I get it wrong. But it's a +5, both of them at the same time?
Yeah.
I mean, both have the same stats?
They're both decks.
You don't need to worry about it as long as the modifier is the same, which it is.
Yeah.
So, does anybody know how to turn a crit for a player? Make it an automatic crit. I think, Stuart, do you know in chat that there's...
You can pick the dice up. So you can pick it up and then right-click once, and I'll add 1 extra.
But that's manual, right? Like I have to do it from the beginning and not yet include the dex modifier.
I think there's a way of just doing it, but I will look it up. Don't worry.
I would rather just normal normally first and then add the extra 1d6 later.
I just meant like you can pick, where it says 1d6
I'm so sorry.
+3. You just grab that, pull it.
It's okay. Don't worry.
click.
So, and then you need to roll another 2 dice as well.
Oh, the sneak attack.
Yeah, everything is doubled, so your
The
attack is
sneak
doubled.
also get doubled?
Yes,
Sneak?
so you're doing 4d6 here. At the moment, you've done 14 points of damage.
Here
Roll to
comes the
roll.
sneak.
Yeah, so that
Wait,
is.
is it in? Wait, is it in
I
yet?
think in
I
your
don't think it's not.
in your
It's not
excitement,
in. One sec. It's not in.
it is in now. You've done 6, so that is a total of 20 points of damage you do to poor Thorn of the Lotus 3. And that is more than enough to kill him as well. As
It's a
again,
headshot.
it's most definitely a headshot. If you want it to be a headshot, I am not
Yes.
disagreeing with you, because you are terrifying me at the moment as you are slaying all of these
2
things.
crits and 2 turns.
Yeah,
I have keen eyes like a cat, so I always
amazing.
know.
So
Sure.
with that, is there anything else you want to do? You've shot.
Well, I would rather just stay where I am because this is like the best place for a cat to just, observe her prey.
Does sound good at the moment. So we move to Tatsu.
Okay, I would like to wrench my Tetsubou free of the building,
Yeah,
Uh,
pull it out.
whip it up in the air, and just bring it down vertically straight on top of this guy.
Okay. There are people collapsing around you with arrows in them. It's
I don't care.
okay. Well, you don't care.
There's people that need dying. And
Yeah.
the arrows aren't shooting me. It's a problem for another day.
Indeed.
You don't
wait.
care.
Give us a roll then, attack. Or you've just, that's it, Lotus. Excuse me.
So, I mean,
Oh, very nice. And yeah, you just feel free, however you want to describe it, but you
just
deal.
flatten him.
Yeah.
Just shred his head. There's no resistance.
There is the horrible sort of
Crunching
shattering,
sounds.
yeah, bone and everything else. Anything else you would like to do?
Nope.
Then we move to Kagiyaki.
Okay. She's going to target that guy. I think she will do a similar gesture.
Okay.
But she will also point out to Tatsu that we really could use one of them to find out where everyone has gone.
I love the way that you are kind of pointing that out and then just going to blast him with lethal force.
But I can get to him and probably stabilize him.
Okay.
Tatsu doesn't really understand what you're saying. There's like a look of vague confusion.
All right. So yeah, exactly. As you kind of, I would imagine, and feel free to correct me, but you cast your spell, and then at the last minute, just as you release the energy, you kind of realise that maybe you want to keep these alive, and and it just shoots past, slamming into the building. It's not a critical miss, so there's no worries about that. Even with the 2, their armor class is low enough to not worry too much about that. Anything else you'd like to do?
I'm going to move forward to about here.
Yeah.
And that's me done.
Way, Thorns of the Lotus. He's just he just screams for the Lotus and swings at you. Oh, and does hit. Very nice. Doing 5 points of damage, and that is all he does. Kiyoshi, it is your go again.
I agree with what Kagiyaki means. So I will rush up.
Charge. You know you need to kind of subdue this person before Minnie gets a shot, because one shot, one kill.
Yeah.
Minnie might heard what Kagayaki said, so
Yeah, we'll see how it
Does
plays
she
out.
care?
Yeah, it's not just
I have
that.
keen ears.
Difficult to do non-lethal damage with a critical bow strike. Kiyoshi, your go.
As he approaches, he will speak out and say, I suggest you don't move from where you are, and you can tell us exactly what you know. And I'll use Booming Blade on him, so if he decides to run, he will take some damage.
This is good. Give me the attack.
What's the style name for Booming Blade? The Kyoshi's version.
Yeah, have you renamed that?
Yeah, it's in the chat. So it's almost like when he strikes, he also folds the air around this person. So if they disturb this air, the air will pop around them, essentially, causing them to take some residual damage.
May I read this for the viewers, because it might not be visible?
Feel free.
Reverberation.
Yeah.
Oh, that is great.
Okay.
Cool.
I need to do damage.
You do need to do damage.
So he takes 7, and he is sheathed in this folded air.
Okay. Excellent. Is that your go?
Mm-hmm.
Then we move to Minnie.
Minnie,
Yeah.
she was ready to charge again like a villain, but after hearing what Kagiyaki said, she's going to dash. Well, not quite dash, she just use her villain agility to move very fast. Right next to this. And she's going to start.
Just a minute. Your movement is 30, so yeah, 5, 10.
But
15,
I use
20,
villain
25,
agility, which regenerates after I didn't move last turn.
You can get to about there, no problem.
So, we need to knock this person out, don't we? Right?
That's the plan.
If I attack this person, he won't die, right? If I just...
You when you make an attack, you say, as long as you're attacking with a melee weapon and you're within 5 feet of him, you can choose to do your attack non-lethally. And all you do is just say, I'm doing this non-lethally, and then you do everything exactly the same as you normally would.
She's going to use her cat's claws.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Oh, wait. They didn't have the stat roll for cat's claws. I think
it's a finesse weapon that deals D4, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So
I have to
just make a dex attack roll.
So just roll a D20 with +5 to it. Just do a dagger attack.
I think it's just you can make your unarmed strikes slashing if you.
Oh, it's a critical. Wait,
really?
I rolled, but it doesn't show up.
Yeah, it hasn't showed up. So
I did roll, right? Has it?
Did you double click on your dagger roll?
I dragged the dice to the chat and flung it.
Yeah, it looks like you haven't rolled it in the chat box, so it hasn't showed up.
Wait, I have to. Let's see if I do it again.
Yeah.
Where is it? Wait, where's the dice? Wait, did that just disappeared?
If you just do a dagger attack, that will.
Yeah, wait, the dagger.
Yeah, from your action page. If you just
So
double
it's a
click on that.
+5. Dagger or rapier. Yeah, I think both of them are the same.
Yeah, but you want to use your cat's claws. So again, I'm not quite sure
be careful
why.
though. There's a wait, it's a +10 though. I don't know. Like careful.
So a 19 is a hit. Just do me some damage.
It's a 1d4 plus.
It's a D4 plus strength. It's a strength thing, not a dex thing. That's wrong.
My strength is 0, so it's just a pure 1d4 then.
Yeah, just roll a d4. So you
1.
Scratch him for 1 point, and he's still up.
Oh wait, but do I get no sneak attack, right?
Yeah, because it's a strength weapon.
Because it's strength, it's not finesse. I don't believe you get sneak attack on that. So we move to Tatsu.
Okay, I'm going to try and attack him. This will
try
be
to not knock him. Before I end my turn, I'm telling Tatsu to please don't kill him. Just knock him out.
It is Tatsu. Tatsu does what Tatsu wants.
This is subdual damage. I'll describe exactly what I'm doing if I. So what I would like to do.
I'm gonna take his legs out.
If I miss, it would kind of ruin it a bit. So okay,
hit.
So what I would like to do is take his sword from him.
Okay.
wrench it out, and as he's knocked over, using the tetsubo, hammer it into the ground through his hand. So
Okay.
he's nailed to the
Nailed to
floor
Oh,
using his own blade.
Jesus.
Brilliant.
And
Absolutely.
then look up at Kagiyaki and bow, subdued, as he's there screaming.
Yeah, he's unconscious, but it's sort of great pain as you kind of do that. And he is captured. He's not in danger of dying, and pinned to the floor as well. And you are out of combat.
Finally.
So
I'll move slightly further forward into the thing and yell, "Anyone else?"
Minnie is going to start interrogating this guy.
he's unconscious.
Oh, we're gonna have to. She's going to tell Kagayaki that the guy's already dealt with. Just sadly, he's not awake enough that we can question him.
Well, why don't we make sure that the rest of the village is clear, check the water, and then come back for him? It doesn't look like he's going anywhere right now.
I hope so.
I mean, he's not going to get very far if he tries.
No, he's stable. He's not going to die. He's pinned and restrained to the floor with the sword, and it's going to take him an hour or so to come into consciousness. He's not a threat at the moment.
Wouldn't dare leave.
I think that someone might want to watch over him just in case one of his buddies decided to sneak up and try to grab him.
It is up to you. Tatsu, you're fairly confident that when you issued that order, any Thorns of the Lotus around would have responded to it. They wouldn't show any kind of dishonour to let their comrades come forward and cower in a building.
I don't think there's any more of them.
Then Minnie, to meet that curiosity, is going to overpower her as she starts to go toward the well.
Okay. So as you get to the well, you're unsure why they call it pure water, as the water itself is now muddy and murky. It is not very pleasant at all. Can you give me a perception roll, please?
Will do. My favorite lol. Do I have it? Has it show up
Wow.
yet?
Yeah, it has showed up. And once again, you are rocking these rolls tonight, which is about to save your life. As you peer into the water, you see it's muddy and murky. And you see the mud seem to move with your 24. And then you see it take form as 3 horrific mud-like creatures polluting the water, looking like this, lurch out, ready to attack you. Your sharp wits and perception see them just in time, so you are not surprised, and everybody gets to roll initiative before they potentially could have all struck you before you had a chance to react. Your curiosity almost definitely killed the cat there. Can everybody give me initiative rolls, please?
Wait, where's my character? Yeah, no. I hope I'm first. Oh no!
Oh dear.
Oh no!
This is not boding well. Okay, we'll kick this straight off. Kiyoshi, it is your go.
Okay. So I guess they're in a place that I can't see.
No, they've kind of literally emerged. There's kind of huge kind of bubbles of mud that have sort of blurted out of this water and then transformed into these small mud mephits. They would have got surprise round in against whoever was looking in, but the 24 critical success on the perception saved Minute there.
Oh,
Although
we can't see them, or I can't see them on the map.
on the map.
Sorry.
they have just appeared
Ah,
for
there
you.
they are.
Now, do you wish you can't see them again?
Yeah, you can just like put them back if you like.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, because I was going to go check out the building that had the squeaky floorboards that I was told
It
about.
seems
but...
that Minute running forward and triggering this as... I mean, you do you, though. If you want to check the building out, you are more than welcome to.
I'm going to step to the side again. And then, as before, use my cantrip from here as I slowly approach.
So you're targeting the mud method number 1. And it
3.
fails. Not for a huge...
one deck psychic. But then I forgot to say, for his next saving throw, he has a minus D4.
Okay, if someone does a save, mud method 1 is got a minus D4.
I need to set that up.
Yep, no worries. Is that everything?
Mhm.
So mud method 3. Yeah. It's going to do exactly that. Mud method 3 is right in front of you. And as it kind of bursts out, transforming into this small, horrible creature, it just belches. And as it belches, mud just sprays out over you, covering you in mud. Did you say mud was like one of your worst nightmares?
Yeah,
Personal
she
hell,
hates
yeah.
it.
Personal hell. This
Dead,
forces...
like, just like try to scamper away by now.
This...
using her villain ability or something.
Well, you will do on your turn. Unfortunately, you rolled a natural 1. So this is going to force you to do this. And once again, a natural 20. You dodge the mud as it spews to one side, landing. And you notice it almost instantly starts to solidify. Had it covered you, you would be going nowhere. That is its go. It's not going to do anything else. We move to Tatsu.
I will look over very concerned, scream Minnie, and run in.
Okay.
There.
Safe.
Move to there.
Yeah.
Trying. And I will hit method 3. This, what's it, hit it? I'll attack it.
Yeah.
Um,
So target it first.
Yep. So,
No chance of healing yourself as yet, unfortunately, Tatsu. Still suffering from a wound from earlier.
yeah, although this time I think I can fix that.
Such
sorry.
confidence.
Okay.
17 hits.
Yep. So damage on the method is...
Oh, very
8.
nice. You hit it hard. Very nice.
And then I will second wind.
Okay. Excellent stuff. And then we move to... Oh, that's nice. Healing all that. We move to Mud and Method 2. Yeah, this isn't a cone effect. Mud Method 2 is going to move... Oh, it's going to move round to here. It doesn't like the big thing with the big club.
Actually, stuck.
And this is going to do the same thing again to you, Minnie. It's going to make you do a dex. And you succeed with that. Your high dexterity saving you from being coated with mud. And then we move to Kagiyaki.
I'm going to target the same one that Kiyoshi has targeted. That didn't work.
Okay.
That's better. And she again will take her brush pen and draw a symbol in the air, but this time a different one.
Ooh.
which seems to send light shooting forward from it. And it needs to make a save, so I will hit that.
Minus a d4.
Oh, no, that's good.
Oh,
Now, once again, it failed, but it didn't just fail, it critically failed. What spell was you actually casting?
Sacred Flame.
Okay, so with a critical fail, you will do twice the amount of damage with your Sacred Flame. So is Sacred Flame normally a d6, is it?
It's a d8 radiant
D8.
damage.
So it's going to be 2d8 radiant damage that you do. You can just click it twice, I think, because there's no modifiers on it. There we go. So you do a 4 and a 5. Because it was a critical, it critically failed, and you do 9 points of damage to it. Tremendous stuff. Is that your go?
Tatsu doesn't look injured now, does he?
Nice.
No. Okay, then yes, that's me done.
And then we move to Mud Mephit 1. It's going to do the same thing, but to a different person, as Tatsu is positioned himself in the way, and he kind of, and you succeed as well. No one is getting covered in this horrible mud. So, Minnie, it is your go.
Normally, Minute, to me, that if this were any enemy that wasn't like mud based, she would just like scratch them. But apparently, because she hates mud, she's going to risk opportunity attack and try to flee.
Okay, so hold there because you will get 2 attacks against you. So Mud Mephit 3, is going to try and hit you with the fist. Misses you, and Mud Mephit 2 is going to try and do the same.
is she still in range at number 2?
Sorry? Yeah, she's moving away though.
Right.
And that is a critical
Wait,
hit.
isn't my AC 14 and therefore it's not yet reached beyond 10?
That's
Sorry?
fine.
I rolled a
my
natural
AC
20.
is... Oh, natural.
Yeah. Fortunately for you, I rolled two 2s plus 1, and it does 5 points of damage to you. You may carry on running now.
But I got hurt so bad. So as she tried to run, she got bonked like at her head, like pretty terribly. But she just shakes out of it and try to run anyway. She's going to dash as far as possible because she is not getting near any of the mud.
So you can move.
She's gonna try to hide inside the building.
Okay.
This building, perhaps.
Perfect. Okay. So you run into that building there. Can you, as you step in, can you give me a perception roll?
Okay. Perception. 7.
Oh, things just get worse for you. As you run into this building, you are trying to pull all of the encounters.
Not yet done. If I still have some movement left. So if I see that a threat, I'll just go and run somewhere else then. I still have enough movement.
You have rolled a 7 on your perception. You see nothing as you run in and hide in that house.
Oh.
What are you doing?
She wouldn't really. She probably just gone a little bit further away, but it's still inside the house.
Yeah.
Just within the house still.
Absolutely. Boom, boom.
Yeah, somewhere like just inside this house.
Very nice. This is going to be interesting.
Oh no, I think she's going to go down soon. She's barely there. She's already like close to dying. Yeah, she's going to be there. Hopefully, like, will Kagayaki able to see her moving in?
People saw you move in. I just need to. That's better. Okay, so we have my fancy grounds is not playing up. Perfect. Okay, so with that, and you end your turn there, Minute. We go back to the top of the round. Kiyoshi.
Mm-hmm. So I don't see what's going on in there. She bursts through that doorway. It's like, oh god.
No, she just runs into the door. It seems that she's running around very rapidly. Nothing has happened as yet.
He'll say under his breath, "Some people need to keep level heads."
Okay, so Kiyoshi, what would you like to do?
He'll step up and then do the same as he did last time. As like a slow approach.
Very good. Oh, no, that's what you want. So it got a 2 on the dice, and its save.
So it's 10 less than my saving throw.
It is 10 less than your saving throw, which is what I was checking. That 2
Okay.
is a critical hit, so double that damage. Very nice. As you heavily damage it, it seems that these saves are going in quite nicely. Perfect.
Almost like I'm folding it in on itself.
Yeah. Is that your go?
Yep, and basically just making this slow approach towards
Okay.
Tatsu.
So it doesn't recharge its mud breath. So what number 3 is going to do is just slash at you and miss you, and then we move to Tatsu.
I'm going to keep laying into this thing. So, picked my one to fight. Let's go for it again.
Are you still hit though? You still hit. Yeah, the armor class is not massive, heavily damaging it.
Grunge.
Yeah. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, and then we up. Its mud breath has not recharged. It needs a 6+. So it is going to skip to you and swing its muddy fist and hit. What is your armor class?
17.
Yeah, so not a crit, just a straightforward and for minimal damage. Okay, what you see bursting through the floorboards, Minute, is a giant centipede kind of crawls through, and it is going to attack you. Minute. Boom, 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 boom. So the attack is there. And it hits you. And you go down. As you have decided, you need to make a Constitution saving throw, and you succeed.
Will Kagiyaki able to hear me scream as I go down?
I don't see why not. Kagiyaki, or your go.
Okay, I will. So my plan was to step forward somewhat, like effectively probably to there, so that I could actually have possibly line of sight on Minute to Midnight.
Yeah. So what you fundamentally see is Minnie is down. Over the top of Minnie is a giant centipede. There are at least another 3 more in there. Crawling up from underneath the floorboards.
Help her! I'll kill these.
Too bad Minnie was too panicked to remember about her saying something about things that can burst up from the ground. She's way too panicked with the mud.
Okay, so I'm going to use my bonus action to do a healing light on Minute.
But as that happens, Minute is going to feign being dead for a bit. It's like she's not going to get up immediately.
Well, Minnie, you are unconscious at the moment. You target her, and your healing light is, sorry, how much? A D6?
Yeah.
Give us that d6. Very nice. So you were brought back into consciousness, Minnie.
But Minute is going to stay perfectly silent and
We'll,
not
come
moving.
we'll come on to that on your turn. What we will do is anything else, Kagiyaki? What are you doing?
So am I, unfortunately now, effectively in combat with Centipede 4?
No, the Centipede 4's in the house. So
Okay.
the door into it is here. So you're not in combat. You can move if you want to without an attack of opportunity.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In which case I will. Which one am I going to target? Probably target the one who is over, sort of, is closest to Minnie.
Mm-hmm.
And I will again, with my brush pen, draw a symbol which is becoming increasingly familiar.
Yeah.
As we Eldritch Blast it.
We'll have to get some icons drawn up for you or some symbols. Okay, let us see whether you can get it though. Automatic
Nope.
fail. Now, this is a critical fail.
Yep.
This is a critical fail. Difficult choices. Difficult choices, but there needs to be repercussions with critical fails. So we can obviously just do damage to Minute to Midnight as you were shooting the one close to it, or you can damage the structure, your choice, and the structure will start crumbling and breaking down. I'm going to give you narrative agency to choose whether you want to accidentally strike Minute or whether you want to damage the structure instead. But damaging the structure will cause repercussions such as maybe line of sight or getting in there, etc., from that entrance.
Could I propose a third option?
Absolutely. I'm always hopefully it's going to be even more devious than my options. Bearing in mind,
I like the structural damage option, to be honest, but
this is a critical fail, remember. This needs to have negative repercussions.
I also like the fact that potentially some of the energy is kind of in the wrong direction, and in so doing, Kagiyaki lets go of the pen brush which she uses to draw her symbols. So she's going to have to pick that back up if it doesn't disappear in the mud, and perhaps some of it comes back onto her because it's gone in the wrong direction.
Wow, self-sacrificing. I like that. I'm going to say then that fundamentally your arcane focus, your ability to cast, you can choose either it's going to take you around next round to collect it and continue casting spells, so you're forgoing your next turn of casting, or it doesn't go too far away from you, but the magic rebounds upon you and you blast yourself instead.
Let's do the scramble in the mud.
Okay, so you do it. It just fumbles. It falls down. It's in the mud somewhere. It's not going to be too difficult to find, but it's going to take you next turn to find it. Things are going bad. Things are going very bad. And then we move to Mud Mephit, and he tries to recharge and fails. So he's just going to do the same thing again, which is to attack. And misses. And that is a critical miss. And what I'm going to say, because it's only fair that these things happen, is that this creature knocks itself prone, slipping on its own mud, and is currently prone for the round as it tries to strike you and critically misses. Then we move to, if this will do it, Minnie. You are prone on the floor at the moment. You see these 4 giant centipedes crawling up What would you like to do?
Can I get back up? Can I try to get back up?
Yeah, it takes half your movement to stand up.
And then can I get out of the house, like whatever window, like the closest to me?
Oh, well, there's a
No.
door here, so you can
Where?
leave the house here. But
Okay.
leaving there, you will get 2 attacks of opportunity. You haven't used your action though, so you can disengage if you want and take no.
Okay, yeah. The disengage then.
So you disengage. You've used half your movement to stand up, so you can move
Disengage.
another 15 feet.
3. So 1, 2. Oh, and one last feet movement.
So 5.
She's going to hide behind Kagayaki at this stage.
You can get either there or there, basically.
Oh.
So
1, 2, 3.
So you were there, so you can go 1, 2, 3, or 3 there.
Here then.
Yep, that is fine as you move forward to there. And with that, we go to top of the round.
Wait a minute, I have a question though. When I was running from the mud method, I can actually disengage, right?
You could have used your action to disengage, but you
I
chose
forgot
not
that
to.
is a thing. I thought we only have that ability as a cunning action in level 2.
Yeah, you can use your entire action to disengage if you want.
Oh, so we cannot ignore the 5 damage.
No, absolutely not.
Hmm.
But it's a lesson that you have learned now, and as we move to the top of the round, this is where we will leave it. It's looking interesting, having pulled 2 lots of creatures.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it?
I'm sure you
Well,
have
3.
this in hand. I'm sure you have this in hand. We
No,
will see
easily,
that.
yeah.
We will see. So I want to say a big thank you to you, players. It's been an absolutely brilliant first episode. I look forward to continuing this with episode 2. Thank you very much to everybody that stayed with us tonight and watched it in viewing. We're off tomorrow, but we'll be restreaming again Untold Chronicles on Tuesday night with episode 3 Scraplands. So please try and join us then. Until we meet, stay safe. Big love to